Federal government declares holidays to mark Easter. On the foreign scene, hostages' relatives arrested as Gaza talks break down. I am Constance Mega. The Rivers State Police Command has paraded some suspected car snatchers and their witch doctor in Port Harcourt. State Commissioner of Police Bulletin are parading the suspects at the command quarters on Moscow Road in Port Harcourt, named Chidube, Anthony and Kelechi Uzoigwe as the gang leaders. He said the gang had stolen 79 cars, but 17 have been recovered by the police and some returned to their owners. But CPDC also said the witch doctor informs the suspects on when to go for an operation.
Chidozie is the leader of persons who come into River State to steal cars. Not only does he come in here, he trains his men well. At the same time, Kelechi Uzoigwe is an expert in removing trackers from vehicles. Most of these cars stolen are taken to Anambra, Kano, and some of them find their ways out of the country. The funny thing is that most of these suspects met while they were in correctional center. How did they drive this vehicle out of town? They quickly convert them to commercial vehicles, go to park and pick passengers, and they drive out of town with passengers.
Well, correspondent Emeko Tuka reports that the gang leaders spoke to newsmen.
I know people that steal cars, but I don't send them. And I have also somewhere else, like my master called Tony, who normally send people to bring car. Then I receive it. Any problem I think I have, I will solve it. Apart from electrical.
It's because of some circumstances. Because of my sick mom, she has an accident, so they took her to India to operate her brain. So that what led me to it. So since then, about 2 years now, I've been in the business. I'm a buyer. When I buy it, I took it to Onitsha to sell. Kelechi and one Mr. Tommy, they are the ones that normally give me cars. They stole the cars. If it's a Camry, tiny light, I buy 250, I buy 300, I sell 450, 430. My message to anybody, there is no gain in crime.
Well, CPDC also paraded some suspected armed robbers who specialized in robbing bank customers.
We have a team of robbers who follow you when you go to the bank. The moment you come out of your car, you park your car anywhere, they break into the cars and steal the money you just collected from bank. And if you resist them, they will attack you. Their firearms have been recovered. They are here for you to see. Our advice to the residents is to be wary of where they park their cars, and as much as possible let them try to protect their cars. Put safety devices in your vehicles, which will make it easier for us as police officers to assist in detecting your vehicles immediately they are stolen.
Items recovered from the suspects include pistols and charms. In a killed in Delta State presented today when he led governors, federal lawmakers, military top officers, dignitaries, families and friends to lay wreaths in honor of the slain officers and soldiers at the National Military Cemetery in Abuja.
4 gallant officers have been accorded the award of members of the Order of Niger, MON. The 13 courageous soldiers who also lost their lives have been awarded the Officers of the Federal Republic Medal. I commiserate with the families of the entire armed forces. It is my prayer that God will comfort all who are bereaved as a result of this tragedy.
Well, on his part, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, assured the families of the slain soldiers of maximum support. We'll recall that the soldiers were killed while on a peacekeeping mission to warring Okuma and Koluba communities in Delta State. Elsewhere, the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, says it discovered 27 cells belonging to the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, in 22 countries. In a document on counter-terrorism financing dated 26th February, the NFIU said the US has 7 IPOB cells, while the UK has 6. Recall that the federal government proscribed IPOB in 2017 and designated it a terrorist organization. The body of 70-year-old boy was found today hanging from the ceiling of his room in the Alakahia Ags Choba Obiakbo local government area of River State. As at the time of this report, a relative of the young boy told our correspondent that the body has not been untied because the family suspects foul play. He said the boy just graduated and was about to start his shoemaking business. He said police have been invited to investigate the matter, while the River State Police is yet to speak on this. And away from that, Governor Siminalayi Fubara says the Rivers State government will soon flag off the construction of Phase 2 of the Trans-Calabari Road from Port Harcourt through Tombia to other communities. Governor Fubara said this while addressing members of the Family Support Group who paid a solidarity visit to the government house in Port Harcourt today, where the state governor, while assuring Rivers people of his determination to protect lives and property, promised to also flag off the Elele Egbeda Omoko Road, where the governor was represented by the head of service, George Nweke. Some PDP stakeholders in Opobonkoro local government area have applauded Governor Siminalayi Fubara for his leadership style and developmental strides across the state. Well, this was made known in a communique at the end of an expanded stakeholders meeting signed by the chairman of the PDP Stakeholders Forum, Opobonkoro, Bennett George, the executive chairman, Opobonkoro local government area, Inyada Kokigam, and the PDP chairman, Opobonkoro, Godwin Pepple. Where the forum commended Governor Fubara for projects including the 50.15 kilometer dual carriage ring road, Elelewo internal roads, 10 kilometer Aleto Ebubu Eteo road in Eleme, the Andoni Road project, and other projects in the health, agriculture, and other sectors. But they also thanked Governor Fubara for linking Opobonkoro local government area to the national electricity grid and the facilitation of Opobo Town Ring Road project. While the PDP stakeholders also criticized the statements by Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the APC against the governor and urged them to stop. Still to come, Party National Chairman Abure re-elected. Stay tuned. local government area, Chidi Lloyd, says the 23 local government chairmen are not aware of the ongoing promotion exercise for council workers by the Rivers State Local Government Service Commission. Recall that Governor Siminala Ifubara last month approved the promotion of local government workers in the state with full financial benefits, but Dr. Lloyd spoke on Nigerian 4FM's Morning Crossfire today.
No council chairman, the 23 of us, I'm not sure we are aware that promotions are going on. They are shaving us. I don't see how it is possible to shave a man in his absence. And here it is the Local Government Service Commission that are gathering people and looking at their documents. Well, when we get to the bridge.
But Dr. Lloyd also backed the extension of tenures for council chairman by the Martin Amehule-led River State House of Assembly. The Rumor of Chiefs has called on the public apologies for that. The national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, has been re-elected for a second term by party delegates. But this is despite the opposition of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC. But the chairman of the National Convention and Deputy Governor of Abia State, Ikechukwu Emetu, declared him the winner during the party's National Convention today in Nnewi, Anambra State. In other news, fire destroyed a makeshift building in the cornerstone axis of Ozuoba in Port Harcourt today. Well, the cause of the fire is not yet known. An eyewitness told our correspondents that the fire, which started at about 12 noon, was put out by neighbors after efforts to reach firefighters failed.
The fire started around that kind of 12. Nobody was inside actually, all has gone out. But it was not the complete blockhouse. You can see what you're seeing there. That's the only block that you're seeing. It was somehow a kind of batcher. It was temporary. Suddenly, we just see fire. And before we know it, the team already consumed the whole building. We tried to call fire service, they will not respond. People that come and try their best, make sure the water and to quench the fire.
Well, the eyewitness also called on the government to ensure that fire services are really available to members of the public. Flights were grounded at the Port Harcourt International Airport, Omagwa, this morning following a protest by some women from a community in the Ikwerre government area of Rivers State, where the protesting residents of Omagwa and Ipo communities barricaded the entrance of the International Airport, protesting the lack of power supply and other amenities. Well, the protest caused a gridlock stretching from the airport road to adjoining communities. The protesters, who trooped out as early as 7 a.m., complained that despite hosting the international airport and suffering from noise pollution daily, they are not paid any form of compensation, and there are no good schools in the area.
We are doing peaceful protests. Airport is making use of our lands. They are not giving us work. Our children are graduating. No network, no lights, no better school, no better hospital. We have been talking to them for long. We have got a airport manager. We have talked to him. He gave us 30 days. After 30 days, we called them. They refused to answer us. So we decided on our own to come and do the protest. Then they give us our rights.
Away from that, now the federal government has declared Friday 29th March and Monday 1st April as public holidays to mark Good Friday and Easter Monday. But the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunjiojo, made this known in a statement today. On the international scene, relatives of an Israeli held captive in Gaza were reportedly among those arrested by police at a protest in Tel Aviv, where some family members and activists used cages to block a main road on Tuesday night as they demanded more to be done to free those still being held by Hamas. While mediators have been pushing a deal for a 6-week halt in Israel's offensive in Gaza in return for the release of 40 of the remaining 130 hostages. And that's the news. But before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. On the news this evening, you had the police in Rivers State have paraded a car-snatching gang in Port Harcourt. President Tinubu has conferred a posthumous award on the 17 military personnel killed in Delta State. The NFIU has uncovered 22 IPOB cells in 22 countries. The federal government has declared Friday and Monday as holidays to mark the Easter celebration. On the foreign scene, relatives of hostages have been arrested as Gaza talks break down. But the news was edited by Martha Kirinke. Send an SMS or WhatsApp to 008 721 7215. Evening.